Ladies and gentlemen, it is one snowy weekend, and we are glad that you are locked in to the television for Transy basketball. What do you think about all this snow?
Holy smoke.
Bailey got one right.
He always gets it right. If you're not watching Chris Bailey on KYT, I mean, you just have no clue. Because, man, he was right on top of it.
You know, we are talking about nothing. I mean, it has snowed like it did last year. What's that do for basketball, though? Because I know sometimes opponents may try to say, hey, you know, can we play this some other time? Can we do this? I mean, how does that work with your all schedule?
Well, obviously, the number one thing is safety of the team traveling, the officials, and then fans and all that at the end. I mean, we've played some games with not many fans in the stands, with the crowd, or with the team there and the officials there. So that's the number one thing that we're looking at. And it's always, I mean, we have some flexibility because nobody flies in our league. From game to game, so we have, you know, the bus companies
in the air. You mean?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like over the top. But you know, a lot of times it will be a late decision, and certainly yesterday or today it was.
You know what we're going to have to do? We had the flashback segments that we've done over the last several weeks. With all the snow, we need a new golf tip.
Yeah, that last one we did, I think I ended up in the infirmary for like 2 weeks. That was a cold one. I found that ball like a week and a half later. It rolled all the way down 4th Street, and it was down there by Jefferson Street, the new Rodeo Drive of Kentucky.
Or is there, if you're from the mountains, which I love Eastern Kentucky folks, it's the Rodeo Drive. You mentioned infirmary, and now to segue, now we can talk basketball a little bit. What's the infirmary look like compared to what it was 2.5 weeks ago?
Everybody's getting one step closer to getting healthy. Simon Christian was a guy that we knew didn't have a season-ending injury, and one that he's been battling back. So he's probably another week. Tim Bickle was actually cleared for the Mount St. Joe game on Wednesday. I just wasn't comfortable with his conditioning, and he looked like when he's played 4 games, and a guy that we really were counting on inside and with Rob Dents. When he practiced, he looked like he had been on a boat for about a year. I mean, you know, it just wasn't natural. So I didn't feel comfortable putting him in the game on Wednesday. But we're close to having him back, and Derek Jeffries is slowly going as well. Big week this week with Bo Shoe having ACL surgery, and certainly he's out for the year.
When we come back, you'll see Simon Christian and Bo Shoe. They're nice dressers, man. They're spiffing up.
We pay those guys a lot of money.
We've got highlights of Manchester and Transy up next. Thank you for staying with us. If you're snowed in, you've got a lot of basketball to watch this weekend, and we appreciate you joining us here on the Transy Basketball Show. Man U over across the pond, pretty popular team. Not in the Heartland Conference, though, when Transy comes to town.
That's right.
You took on Man U last weekend.
This was a talented team. They've got a new coach, Coach Nadborn, moved on to DePaul University, and then they hired the new the new head coach played for Steve Alford when he was the head coach at Manchester. He took, they lost 1 game the year that Alford was the head coach before he moved on to Division 1. This was a game that we felt like we were going to be able to score in. Number one thing was going to be how we defended, and we're playing with 7 guys, 8 guys, depending on how things are going, foul trouble. We had everybody's energy right here, and we started off really well. They went zone. That worked really good for us. As you can see, Tristan Burgess got loose, Lowell Gordon got loose. We got up 9, got up double digits, and one there. Took his arm off, didn't shoot it. But we were passing it, we were taking it to the basket, and is it called the perk?
The perk.
The percolator?
Physical Education Recreation Center.
There you go. I'm sorry.
You're welcome. I do my homework.
You distracted me. Parker Parker, when he goes off 2 feet, and there he went off 2 feet with the left hand, he's pretty darn effective. And Alex Jones, big night, 28 points in this game. Rob Dents with a great screen. We're trying to get those guys after they screen to be a little bit more active. You don't see that play very often with Parker taking it off the dribble with the flat ball screen, but we did.
Game tied at 45 at the half. These are the second half highlights. And you're going to see, and you'll also see it later on, but Alex Jones, when he runs the point, you see every time he comes from the same left wing, usually the same corner, and gets momentum, and I cannot understand why other teams don't pick him up sooner to make him get rid of the basketball. Not to scout your own team.
Yeah,
why is that?
Just go ahead. For once, I'm glad we're not on Fox Sports South. But one of the things that happens with him is he gets going. You saw a great defensive stop right there. But Alex, when we have shooters around, they can't help, and then we do some things to get him loose. This was a really good win for us. They came in, they had 2 losses in the league. They were battling for a second place spot. We go on the road into their home and get a big win.
And now they've lost 2 in a row heading into the weekend. They were sitting in a pretty good spot, and now they're in a log jam. We'll talk about the standings a little bit later. Alex Jones, player of the week, 28 points last week and 10 of 19 from the floor. It seems to me, with the mash unit you've had over the last couple of weeks, he has all of a sudden become a little tougher. Where earlier in the season, a little bit finesse, which he is a finesse guy, but he seems to have had that inner bulldog a little bit more. What's
happened is when our numbers dwindled because of injuries, all of a sudden everybody had to get better. And he's being more vocal. He's really in practices, even though we don't have a ton of guys practicing. We have 10 guys practicing. He's practicing harder. He and Parker are talking more, and those things it's something that we've been trying to get him to do. Where we are right now, it was a necessity, and we didn't have to pull it out on him. He was ready to really pick that up.
In the first half of that Manchester game, the Nets were on fire. Transy shooting 62%, Manchester 66.7%.
I told you we were going to be able to score. It was going to be, did we stop them? And
you stopped them enough. Yeah, last play of the game was a good one.
We got up 11 and then got down 10 in the second half. Really pleased that our team was able to come in and battle down the stretch to pull out that victory.
When we come back, we talk more Transy basketball as the MSJ Lions came a-calling, and Transy had a couple of 9-point leads. What happened after that? We'll show you next. Hopefully you are toasty and warm. It was a midweek affair with your boy, former Transy assistant, Toby Kerrigan. And he was, let's talk about the first off. So there's Simon Christian Beauchou, dressed impeccably. No,
I can't keep up with those guys.
No cutaways of Toby Kerrigan, but there was one story that I'll have to tell Coach off camera that was outstanding. This ball game was pretty quick pace early on. Transy grabbing the lead, MSJ shooting threes quite well, and a lot of opponents seem to do that at the Beck Center. It's a shooter's gym, and you get a couple of early 9-point leads in this thing.
We do, and this was one of those games that every time you see a three-pointer being made, we went over the scouting report. Don't let that guy make a three.
Yeah.
Don't let him shoot a three.
Heard that before.
Right. And a couple different. That's a good catch there. You've never seen a baseball player with gloves on his with a glove on his foot.
Put a glove on that foot.
Yeah. But we were taking the ball at the basket. Isaiah Pollard.
He is maybe my favorite. He's my new Tommy Sirk.
He has stepped up, and he made a big basket up there in Manchester. It's good to see Tristan being able to come in. He's picked up his defense, and Parker going off 2 feet, really effective.
I don't know if anybody can stop Parker when he is in the paint like that. And Cooper Theobald continues to lead your team in rebounding. There's another battle hustle stat that
point guard almost seven.
Yeah, that's just something else. Nice heads up. Alex Jones, I think, for all of the scoring he does, I think he's a better passer than he is a scorer.
he went 12 assists, 7 assists, 5 assists, 3 games leading up to this one, and I don't think it's a coinkydink that he's actually that we're winning games too.
And Cooper, every time he gets that, he slaps his arm on that and one. I don't know if he's showing the guns or what, but and you liked it. You're a big fan of guns.
He made that looks like a water pistol.
Now, late in the half, for the viewers at home, Joel Scudder's not supposed to shoot threes. You had a 9-point lead. They whittled it down to like, what was it at the half? Just a 2-point transy lead. They made another late flurry in the first.
Yeah, we did a great job on him. Held him scoreless 18 minutes. It's the leading scorer on the team, and he's a fifth-year guy and played for Coach Kerrigan in high school. Went to another school, transferred back to Mount St. Toby. And just a hard-nosed. He's a crafty, savvy kind of player that you really got to watch offensively and defensively.
Alex Jones, he is the master of the transy teardrop. He loves that shot, but there's always a moment in every game he seems to take over 3 or 4 possessions, and he did that again earlier in the week.
Right, and teams that are well coached like Mount St. Toby, they end up having after that happens, they really decide to take that away. Sometimes he goes, just not.
I mean, that's a 26-footer. You got to give him.
But I sent him a picture. We got WhatsApp, a little fancy thing on my iPhone that I send to all the players. Sent them all a picture where he shot a 32-footer. It was almost from the volleyball line. There was no surprise, and so we were hoping to get that across. The next time we play, we just got to do a better job of. I mean, they were probably wanting to take away Parker and Alex too,
sure.
and weren't able to do it.
We get to the midway point of the second half, and there's Parker. When he gets to the lane, it's unstoppable. That was a charge that no one in the Beck Center liked, especially the head coach of the Pioneers. Tough break, because that, in my opinion, was the turning point of the game emotionally, because MSJ starts doing this. All of a sudden, what was once a 4 or 5 point lead, it's tied up, and then MSJ Scudder starts bombing away again.
Yeah, those two right there, we needed to be able to switch or fight over.
And that was Scudder. He had 6. MSJ had 11 three-pointers. They had 13 two-point field goals, 11 threes, and sometimes guys just get hot.
Yeah.
But I felt like you let that one. Pios let that one get away.
We did. We had a 9-point lead, lost it. 9-point lead, lost it. 2-point lead at the half. Weren't shooting free throws the way we need to. Got to the foul line. Didn't capitalize. And then when say that goes against, I'm on the other side.
Right.
I don't have the angle.
I'll say it.
But you just go get a stop the next time, and it's no factor.
Yeah.
Man, it unraveled.
Sure did.
Right there, and that's something that we've got to learn from and get better.
We've got more Transy basketball, including our flashback segment, which will take us to 1998. That is next on Transy Basketball. Our flashback, our Transy turn back the clock moment takes us to 1998. Quickly, where were you in 1998?
98 would have been Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, that'd be nice right about now, instead of all the white stuff.
And then headed to Morehead State after that. So that was moving from Boca Raton to beautiful Morehead.
And in March of 1998, this is what aired on WKYT about Don Lane.
And we made an All-American out of him tonight.
Following a great coach is never easy, but try following 2. When Don Lane was promoted to the head coaching job at Transylvania, his 2 predecessors were Lee Rose and C.M. Newton.
A lot of people go to programs where you got to take it from rock bottom. I mean, this program was one of the top programs in the country when Lee Rose had it and when C.M. had it.
And he's carried on that success. Over 23 seasons, Lane has won 458 basketball games, with players you can truly call student athletes.
You get to work with an outstanding athlete, but at the same time, there are people that are interested in getting a degree. And if they aren't, I don't recruit them to start with. In fact, over the years, I've used as my number one rule in terms of recruiting, is this somebody I'd want my own son to play with?
Lane has been with the Pioneers every year since 1976, but that's not even tops on his own staff. Ron Whitson has been at Transy 24 consecutive seasons.
There's been nobody been more loyal to Don Lane than Ron Whitson.
We kid each other because in one way he's my boss, another way I'm his boss, because being his assistant while he's my boss in basketball, me being the head of the physical education program, him teaching for me, I'm his boss, so I set up his schedule.
I think he's a whole lot tougher on me in teaching than I am on him coaching.
Every day when Don Lane goes to work, he passes the mecca of college basketball, Rupp Arena. It's just a few blocks down from McAllister Auditorium. And being so close to something so big often leads to temptation.
The temptation is still there today. If Tubby Smith were to call me today and say, Coach, I'd like for you to come down here and help me coach, I'd go talk to him.
Lane will be talking before a crowd in Tulsa this month when he's inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame. With all that he's accomplished over his career, some people have started to wonder if that career is coming to a close. But not so fast, says the Woodford County native.
I don't know whether I look older, and people think I'm ready to leave out of here and I'm 65. I'm not 65. I'm almost 55. And I would still like to have a shot at winning a national championship. And whether that'll happen, I don't know. But when we start out every fall, I want that to be our goal.
1998, great to see that. And Coach Lane would coach for 3 more seasons, I believe, and his last year was ranked number 1 for the good chunk of that season.
Right, and we're still chasing that elusive national championship.
Yeah.
Almost got 2 of them in golf, but really in basketball need to get it back to where we're in that upper echelon, top 10 in the country, like we did a couple years ago.
And your dad quickly later, after that segment aired, going into the Hall of Fame, Randy Vernon was inducted. The late Jim Reed also, a great Kentucky connection there.
Yeah, one of the regrets that I have, I was not able to make that NAIA Hall of Fame out there because we were in Florida. We just had Harrison Don Lane down there and still a baby, and I couldn't get out of Florida. But just a stellar career. He follows 2 guys that C.M. Newton in the Naismith Hall of Fame. Lee Rose eligible this year, and then he follows those 2. How about the bum that followed those 3?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
We're still worried. We're still working with that guy a little bit.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back to put a bow on this show. Final segment of the show. Let's take a look at some of the better plays that we had from this past week with Manchester and MSJ. Cooper Theobald and one, and then he slaps the left bicep because he's got major guns. And then Theobald, one more time. This is a pretty athletic play. He had dribbled around the court, did not pass it, and then does that little up and under move. Nice scoop shot for the layup. And one more. I mentioned Alex Jones' passing ability, a little flick of the wrist. Great vision out of that guy. And we've got one more highlight from the Manchester game. This was maybe one of my favorites of the year. Not too bad. Watch this little up and under layup. This is all right. Whip. Boom. And there you go. Some of our plays of the week. Stats, points per game. This does not include Simon Christian, Bo Shue, because some of those guys are obviously out for a while. Shue, certainly, he's gone for the year. Parker Stansberry, Alex Jones leading the way. Cooper Theobald. You're going to see these names over and over and over again. Tim Bickle, 10 points per game when he gets in there. Free throw shooting.
40 points total.
Bickle, though, at the line, 88%. I put some asterisks because he hasn't had as many attempts, but he's like, what, 15 of 17?
It's going to be good to get him back. I mean, he gives us another guy inside that we can count on.
And rebounding, Tim Bickle, 6'8". Theobald has had a lot more opportunity, so he basically is leading the team, which is just astounding to me. And then quickly a look at the Heartland Conference standings. Transy's on the first page,
There
babe.
we go, moving on up.
But they're in a log jam with Rose-Hulman and Manchester, so Transy right in the thick of things real quick. The next week, it's always pivotal, but certainly when you're in the hunt and you're playing from behind, it's even more pivotal.
Right, and we get that game this weekend, and now we're talking about a big week with Earlham, a game on Wednesday that we can win as well. Get off to a good start in the second half of the HCAC.
And we hope you have enjoyed today's show. Stay warm, everybody, and stay out of the snow. We'll see you next week.